Welcome back to Sir Boats Yacht, the place where we dive deep into the most iconic vessels that have sailed the seas and shaped maritime history. Today we are talking about one of the most legendary classic motor yachts ever built, a yacht that carried presidents, hosted world leaders, and became a floating symbol of elegance and power. This is the Presidential Yacht Sequoia, a masterpiece from Trumpy Yachts that is as much a piece of American history as it is a luxury vessel. When you first hear the name Sequoia, you might think of towering trees or great forests, but in the world of yachts it stands for something just as grand. Sequoia was built in 1925 by the John Trumpy & Sons Yard, a company famous for its elegant wooden motor yachts, sometimes called the Rolls-Royces of the sea. At 104 feet in length, with sweeping lines, a white wooden hull, and varnished mahogany details, Sequoia instantly commands attention. But what sets her apart is not just her looks, it is the role she played as the official presidential yacht of the United States from Herbert Hoover in the 1930s right through to Jimmy Carter in the 1970s. Let us begin with the key features that made Sequoia such a special vessel. Unlike the giant steel superyachts we often see today, Sequoia is crafted entirely of wood. The hull is built from white oak and mahogany, giving it both strength and classic beauty. Her design belongs to the commuter style, which was very popular in the early 20th century. These yachts were sleek, efficient, and designed to carry their owners quickly between home and city. Sequoia's sharp bow, long hull, and raised deckhouse all reflect that heritage. At the same time, she was built to provide the utmost comfort, with spacious interiors, handcrafted woodwork, and the kind of detailing that Trumpy yachts are still admired for today. Looking at her design from the outside, the Sequoia is a perfect blend of grace and presence. The bow cuts cleanly into the water with a sharp entry that speaks of speed and efficiency, while the stern is broad and elegant with her name painted in gold across the transom. Brass fittings shine in the sunlight, the railings are polished, and the decks are laid in teak. The wheelhouse sits amidships, giving the captain an excellent view forward, and the raised deckhouse allows for large windows that flood the interior with light. Her profile is low and sleek, yet unmistakably presidential, the kind of design that speaks of both dignity and tradition. Step inside, and you are transported to a different era. The interior of Sequoia is a showcase of craftsmanship, with mahogany paneling, teak floors, and brass accents throughout. The main salon feels warm and inviting, more like a private club than a yacht. Large armchairs and sofas are upholstered in neutral fabrics, maritime photographs line the walls, and brass lamps give a golden glow at night. This was the room where presidents and the guests gathered to relax, talk, or listen to music. Imagine Franklin Roosevelt sitting here with his advisors, or John F. Kennedy holding informal discussions late into the evening. Moving aft, we reach the dining room. This space is formal yet intimate, with a long polished mahogany table surrounded by high-backed chairs. Here, presidents entertained world leaders and cabinet members. The table could be set with fine linen and crystal, but at the same time it remained a comfortable space where family meals could be enjoyed. It is this blend of luxury and practicality that makes Sequoia's interior so remarkable. The staterooms are another highlight. The master cabin is fitted with a large berth, built-in wooden cabinetry, brass reading lamps, and porthole windows that let in soft daylight. Guest cabins are smaller but equally charming, with twin bunks, nautical bedding, and efficient storage. Every detail is finished in polished wood, reminding us of the craftsmanship that defined Trumpy Yachts. There is even a presidential office on board, a small but functional study space with a desk, a leather chair, and shelves for books and charts. This was where serious decisions could be made, even while cruising on the Potomac River or anchored offshore. The bathrooms, or heads, are compact but full of character. White porcelain sinks, brass fixtures, and wood cabinetry keep the look classic. Even in these functional spaces, the design is elegant. Then there is the wheelhouse, perhaps one of the most inspiring places on the yacht. Standing at the large wooden ship's wheel, surrounded by brass instruments and navigational equipment, you get a sense of what it must have felt like to command the presidential yacht. The forward windows give a commanding view of the horizon, reminding us that Sequoia was not just a floating office but a true seagoing vessel. Now let us talk about performance. By modern superyacht standards, Sequoia is not a speed demon, but she was advanced for her time. Originally powered by twin diesel engines, she could cruise comfortably at around 12 knots, making her perfect for both inland waters and short coastal passages. Her hull design allowed her to cut through waves smoothly, while her relatively shallow draft made her versatile in rivers and bays. She was not designed to cross oceans but rather to serve as a luxurious and capable vessel for government use, private cruising, and ceremonial duties. But performance is not just about speed. It is also about how the yacht behaves at sea, how comfortable it is on board, and how reliable the systems are. Sequoia earned a reputation for being a stable and steady yacht, one that could provide comfort even in choppy waters. This reliability is part of what made her such a valuable presidential tool. Leaders could hold meetings, entertain guests, or simply relax without worrying about motion or noise disrupting the occasion. What truly sets Sequoia apart are her unique selling points, the aspects that make her unlike any other yacht in the world. First and foremost is her history. This yacht was the stage for some of the most important moments in American politics. Franklin Roosevelt discussed war strategy aboard her. Harry Truman played piano in her salon. Dwight Eisenhower held dinners on her deck. John Kennedy celebrated his last birthday on board. Richard Nixon addressed the nation and even contemplated resignation while sailing on her. Jimmy Carter used her as a family retreat. No other yacht in the world carries such a weight of history and symbolism. Second is her design pedigree. Trumpy yachts were the definition of American yachting luxury during the 20th century. Owning a Trumpy was a mark of success and taste, and Sequoia is perhaps the most famous Trumpy of them all. Her lines, her materials, her craftsmanship, all reflect a standard that is rarely matched even today. Third is her rarity. Wooden yachts of this size and quality are rare to begin with, and one with such a direct link to the White House is absolutely unique. This makes Sequoia not just a yacht but a floating museum, a piece of national heritage that has survived nearly a century. And finally, there is her charm. When you stand on her teak decks, surrounded by polished mahogany and brass, you feel a connection to a different time. She does not overwhelm with size or technology, but rather welcomes with elegance and warmth. She is proof that a yacht does not have to be massive to be magnificent. So, why does Sequoia matter today? Because she is more than a yacht. She is a story, a symbol, and a legacy. She reminds us of the golden age of yachting, when craftsmanship and design were paramount. She reminds us of the role yachts can play not only in leisure but in history and diplomacy. And she continues to inspire yacht lovers, historians, and anyone who values elegance and tradition. As we close this review, it is worth reflecting that yachts like Sequoia are not just about luxury or status. They are about experiences, connections, and stories. Sequoia carried presidents, hosted dignitaries, and witnessed history unfold on her decks. Today, she stands as a rare survivor from a time when yachts were built to last and designed to inspire. This has been a deep dive into the legendary presidential yacht Sequoia here on Sir Boats Yacht. If you enjoyed learning about this classic Trumpy yacht, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because we have plenty more stories of incredible vessels coming your way. From classic motor yachts to sailing legends, this channel is your home for the best in boating history and design. Until next time, keep your eyes on the horizon and your heart in the sea.